Welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I'm joined by Shaba, Sisha, and what's happening, gentlemen?
so, when we were backstage and X just added me, I was typing a message about the game, and X
Yeah,
tells me I had this look on my face that made me look like I was depressed, like I was going through some
yeah.
shit. But no, I was just talking about the game yesterday.
Hey, man. Hey, Let's start off with that, Shaba. I mean, we haven't had you on the show for a while now. So, yeah,
Look,
man, like, what happened, man? Like, you know,
um, okay,
yeah,
before we speak about anything else, I'm gonna be completely honest here. This weekend. I caught the back end of the City game, and I watched the Liverpool game, and that's all the football I've watched. So I don't really know much of, like, I haven't even seen the scores yet or anything like that, because I needed a social media cleanse afterwards.
oh, yeah.
Um, Look, they were. I'm gonna actually start off by saying this. There were two horrendous decisions from, well,
Mhm.
one non-decision from VAR and one just complete, like, nothing, like passing the buck type of decision from VAR, which kind of both led to big moments for Arsenal. One was a goal, the other one was a sending off that didn't happen. But I'm going to be clear about this, right? Yes, I think those two decisions should have went our way, um, but we did not deserve to win that game, regardless.
Mhm.
Like
I can respect that.
the first goal, Saka should have been flagged offside, and the reason why he wasn't was because where he was on the pitch, the VAR camera couldn't like track him.
Yeah.
So because of that, they had to stick with the on-field decision, which I'm fine with. Like, you know what? We know technology has its flaws, so I'm completely fine with that, right?
Yeah.
Stick with the on-field decision. But the on-field decision, the assistant ref didn't raise his flag because they're instructed, don't raise your flag because there's VAR.
Yeah.
So that I'm not okay with, right? That needs to be looked at. The second one is I think Martinelli should have been sent off for that tackle on Trent. I think that was a bit what's the word I'm
Aggressive.
looking for? Overly aggressive,
Over.
overly aggressive. But look, as I said, saying all of that, I don't think we deserve to win that game. I don't think we played well. I don't think the substitutions did anything. Um, their penalty was soft, but
Hella
I mean, if,
soft.
if if my team got it, I wouldn't be complaining. So it's one of those. It could have gone either way. You damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Mhm.
Um, I think we had a handball shout, and we scored two really good goals. But on the balance of play, guys, Arsenal did to us what we used to do to City back in the day when we were coming up as a team. They ran harder, they played better, they didn't let us like get out of our own half. They were on top of us, and I said this in the Fulham game as well, and I said this after Brighton as well. That's now three teams that have out Liverpool. Um, so
Hey,
it's time to
I think
start.
I think
Yeah,
and this is me fearing sounding like a broken record. Um, Liverpool looked tired.
yeah.
Liverpool looked lethargic. Liverpool looked like they'd given up. I'm trying to see a couple of good things that came out of the game for Liverpool. One that stands out for me, maybe I got fascinated. Is Thiago? Oh, fucking hell, dude! Jeez,
superstar.
Like
Baller.
jeez, my guy.
if there's one
That's
thing to be
that's what
thankful
that's what I
for, it's
want.
that
You
guy.
see, you see guys who can play five aside, who can
Oh,
play one
dude.
file. Those are the sort of players that I rate.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
Thiago,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
incredible. That's
In as
yeah,
much as his side is aging and it looks tired and whatnot, he, when it comes to the understanding of the game and the controlling of the game and the passing, he's the man. And we moved to two players who were last season fantasy league dream, like any fantasy league player will jizz all over just to have those two
Yeah.
players. In Trent and in Salah. Salah just looked out of it, and it's not the first time this season that he looks out of it. I don't know whether it's that whole yin yang where he's now just left alone, and he doesn't have that yang in that other player that you guys sold to the Bundesliga. But I won't go in there because like every time I mention it, you guys have made peace with he's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, Salah looked out of it. I don't know what the hell is going on. If he was going to the World Cup, I'd say he's saving himself for the World Cup. That's not happening, so I don't know what's happening. He wasn't involved in the game. And then you look at Trent. Trent did what I can't remember which Man United player last week against City who was grateful for being injured. That was Trent yesterday. The injury did him a huge favor. I think when he got injured and he started limping, the camera focused on Klopp, and Klopp was like livid because Klopp is thinking what everyone is thinking. This guy is faking it. This guy wants nothing to do because Martinelli is showing him flames.
Look at
and
the
then
shots being fired here. But it's
truth,
cool.
my guy.
Guys, there's a difference. I'm up here to take the shots. You guys are hiding behind your little phones typing comments.
Did you just call people keyboard warriors?
Keyboard warriors,
And then I think the elephant in the room is we've always said Henderson is not as brilliant as everyone makes him out to be. Henderson versus who's I'm trying to think of a midfielder that we've got. McTominay. Who's a better player between the two?
No, we're not having this conversation.
I went as low as I could possibly go.
Move on. Move on from that conversation immediately. Look, I want to speak to all of those points, right? Yeah. The key difference is I think we're just tired. I think this team has been together for like 5 of the 7 years that Klopp has been here. I think they're just tired. We need a refresh badly. And that's why I don't think losing Mane was as big a look. I'm not saying it meant nothing, but I don't think it's as big a problem as everyone is making it out to be, because he would have been just as tired as everybody else.
But I think you're in a funny predicament. Funny little situation where, unfortunately, you don't have the comfort of a refresh. Because a refresh could be 2 transfer windows. And if we say two transfer windows, that's a whole year. And by then, where are the competition? Like, the competition is probably taken up a notch. Because remember, you need to invest and get these players in. You need to get them bedded into the system. Unless you get a player like Haaland, who literally needs 2 games to have an understanding of all the cheat code. Who has an understanding of all the players around him, and by the 3rd game he's banging in goals. We like game 8 and this boy is sitting on like what 14, 15 goals.
Yeah.
And you guys are not going to have a player like that. So unfortunately, you're walking alone and you are properly effed up. Like I don't need you to be.
I think the refresh started though. I think it started. I think. Like I've always said, Diaz was meant to be the replacement for one of Mane or Salah. Which one, we don't know. But he was meant to come in to replace one of them. We were also after Xiaomeni, which kind of fell through. I think that would have been a big one. We were also after Jude, which I don't think we were going to get Jude the same year they would have sold Haaland. But I also think that this new guy, whose name I'm forgetting, who replaced Edwards, doesn't have the experience to know that. Like, Edwards would have seen, okay, fine, we've lost Xiaomeni, we're not getting Jude. We'll go get who's that guy that Villa got for free? Who?
Oh, Or Conrad? Which guy are you? There's a lot of
Oh
people
yes,
named
that guy as well. We were
Lemar,
also linked with him.
Conrad. Yeah, Conrad
Yes,
Lemar.
him.
Yeah,
Or that French dude that Villa bought, whose name Kamara. He's another. I
Kamara.
mean, he's injured now, but like we would have tried for one of those players. Um, we didn't. We got Arthur, who's now injured for 3 months. Um, so fun times there. Diaz is now
But
also out until after the World
are
Cup.
you at peace? Are you at peace with not getting Jude? Because I think the three of us rate Jude Bellingham highly, and I think we agreed in one of the episodes that at the moment with the current market, we value him at plus minus 120.
I don't think we're going to spend 120. Full stop.
Nah, bro. Nah, same
Full
here.
stop.
I
I
rate
think.
him as well, but not
I,
nah.
yeah, I think if he was like 80 or like 85, I think it would have been a done deal. We would have moved heaven and earth to get him. But at 120, I don't think anyone's approving that. It's
So
like on Outlook, the what's his name? John W. Henry is gonna get that notification. He's gonna see. He's gonna be like, "Oh, okay, purchase order. What? 120 million, no decline," and then end.
I think I agree with Sekwati here that
Yeah.
second Klopp is not the answer. I think
Yeah.
you
No.
guys just need to grin and bear. This season is a write-off. I think if you finished Champions League, it would have been a successful season. Write it off, and then the Jan window is when you go hard at your targets. But what happens in the
But it's
Jan
probably
window
the
is
worst
that
time to ever buy a player,
that's
right?
what I was gonna say.
January
Because-
window,
yeah,
straight
because
after a
players are
World
just-
Cup.
Yep,
Mm-mm.
that's what I was gonna say.
Mm-mm.
It's the
Unless it's like
time.
one of those players who aren't in the World Cup,
Yeah.
like an Italian, like Barella,
Yeah.
like nudge, wink, wink. But I know John W. Henry's not watching, so unless maybe he is. You've got
You
some
never know,
fool.
man. You never know.
Maybe he is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Refresh started with 100 million.
it
this
started
boy
with
needs to
Diaz.
step up.
It started with Diaz. Look, I'm not too worried about Darwin. I'm okay with
Not-
with
With
where
Darwin.
he is. Like
Yeah.
I'm not happy, but I'm okay with it. Look, he's scoring goals. He puts himself about. He's like chaotic in the box. He does disrupt his defenders. Like there's a good player there. You can see it. I think he'll come good. He just needs time.
Just on him. Sorry, before you go on, because I know you're gonna go on.
Yeah.
The one thing that I struggle with him is that he sometimes carries these these South American players have this thing of being very aggressive, and their aggression is easily triggered. I think he's one of those defenders. Sorry, so he was one of those strikers that defenders that know the dirty art can really rally him up quickly. And once he's fired up, he doesn't know when to stop. And it's the same thing as who's this Everton boy that just moved to Spurs now. Fucking hell,
Richarlison.
Richarlison.
Yeah.
Please don't compare Nunes to Richarlison.
No,
Please
I'm
don't.
not
No.
player wise, not player wise. I'm talking about attitude wise. I'm talking about if you really get to him, he kind of like he wants to push back. And
But no,
that's how
there's one big difference between the two, right? Nunes does push back. Richarlison goes to cry to the referee, right? And that's
But
why I
either
don't want
way-
to compare the two players.
either way,
Yeah.
I think he is going to get another red card at a crucial time
He
in
might.
your
He
window.
might, but like we also can't take that away from him. He's got to. It's like we got to find the balance, like what we did with Suarez. We've got to find. I'm not saying he's as good as Suarez. Please don't quote me.
Yeah.
But we got to find that balance, and then there's definitely a player in there. Like
There is.
the fact that he can score goals when A, he's not playing well, and B, we're not playing well, tells me that there's a striker in there.
Mhm.
Right now we've just got to, and we all knew he was rough when we joined,
Yeah.
when he joined. So we've just got to like get it out of him.
I think we've all said it. It felt like a knee-jerk reaction when Haaland was announced. And it might not have
Yeah.
been. No,
Richarlison
hold
is
on,
not
hold
better
on.
than Nunes.
It might not have been a knee-jerk reaction, but it certainly looked the part.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I don't think. Okay, look. if we didn't make the Arthur signing, I would have said we don't do knee-jerk reactions. But that Arthur signing was a knee-jerk reaction. Like nobody, not even Arthur, not Klopp, no one. This guy just rocked up there, probably on holiday, and we're like, yeah, come, something like that. But the initial point that I wanted to make is Klopp literally got every last ounce of performance out of those players. Like, I like Jordan Henderson. I've always liked Jordan. Well, not always liked Jordan Henderson, but ever since Klopp came, I've really liked Jordan Henderson. He's a good captain. He's a good player. But I think his race is run, and I think now that he doesn't have the legs to fall back on, you do see the deficiencies in his technicality, which we all knew he had. Like, I was never shy about that. And I think his brain is now working faster than his body. So he thinks he'll get there, but he doesn't get there anymore. So I like in the first game of the season, and I think I said this on stream, I saw him try to chase a left back, a left winger, sorry, on the right hand side of our pitch, and it just looked like he's
it didn't look right.
It didn't look right. He looked heavy. I don't know what's the right word here. Heavy is a bit rude, but he looked a bit.
What's the latest with Naby Keita?
Yeah, I was about to ask about Naby because Naby is another one.
We want to renew his contract. But he's just never
Man United, Mos. You guys are just giving away contracts for the sake of.
Yeah, if Keita could play 30 games a season, I'd be like,
asking too much.
Fine.
He's like the Martial of Liverpool.
But he plays like, okay, fine. Let's call it. I don't know the stats. Let's call it 20 games a season, right? In like 10 of those 20 games, you're like, this dude's a player. This dude's an absolute player. For 5 of those games, you're like, okay, you know what? Cool. He's coming back from injury, but he's done well. And for the other 5, he's like, this guy's just pop. What's he doing here? So he's never
the weirdest thing ever. And I'll keep on comparing players. And no, we're not supposed to because like players they're all different. But I think N'Golo Kante puts more minutes than Naby Keita. And N'Golo Kante is an old man who's in his 30s, who's done it all, who's won it all. But he is.
But that's also another thing, right?
He's fitter than Naby Keita. Plays more minutes than Naby Keita.
Kante is fitter than like all of us, like everyone. Like, come on.
Like guys.
But no, Kante has also had his injury issues of late. That's also another thing. We're mentally tired. This team's won everything.
Like, so what? You're calling it a day?
No, well, I don't think we should. But I get the feeling that that's kind of creeping in. The complacency, especially with Van Dijk. Van Dijk looks like he's training for the World Cup. On one hand, I can understand it because he sacrificed the Euros to get fit and come back and play, and then we've literally played every game possible. We got to pretty much as far as you can get to without winning the quadruple. So, like, it kind of worked out in that sense. But now it's like I've never been to a major tournament with my country. So, I get it. But I don't agree with it.
Yeah, no. And another thing is,
sorry.
I just wanted to ask. Like, I saw Henderson was involved in.
Yeah, that I think let's not.
I don't know.
That. I think
I want more information there. Let's do it.
Yeah, same here.
Should we
because it sounds very. Yeah, it's a sensitive issue.
On one side of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So on one side of it, if like 50% of the reports are correct, I'm very glad he did it. But if the other 50% of the reports are correct, then get him out my club. So that's kind of where I am with that. I want to see what's happening.
On Van Dijk.
How's this guy making an appearance when we talk about Henderson? He's timing.
He just like slides in.
It's like he heard us.
Yeah.
The guy from Sunderland, my ears were burning, bro. I was like, God.
If honestly, if Van Dijk is intentionally playing at 75% or 70% because he's saving himself for the World Cup, then he's a douche for doing that because he does not respect.
But I don't think.
No, he does not respect badge. Rather,
I don't think it's
say that
intentional. I think it's.
Well, then
I think
it's
happening.
worse. If it's not intentional, then it's worse.
I don't think it's worse, but it's like you have one eye. As Sitle, your famous words, he has one eye on the World Cup. Like how you guys had one eye on the Real Madrid game last season. Similar comparison. It's not that you're not going to try your best. It's just.
Okay, so how many games have you guys played? And so you've played what, 8 games?
Yeah, I think it's 11.
How many? You're number 10 right now. If he's
Yeah,
honestly
it's not
sabotaging
good.
the club, for him to have a better chance in the World Cup, geez, like that is hectic.
So I think sabotage is a bit far. I just think
No, that's what it is. What
like
else
he
is-
doesn't have his eye on the prize. I just think he doesn't.
Yeah, but-
He's not focused. It's a lack of focus. That's what it is. It's not a lack of.
No,
There's
it's
no
not
ill
much,
intent.
like-
He doesn't come there and say, "I'm going to screw these guys over." No, he's just not focused, and that's a
Shiva,
problem throughout the
Shiva,
team.
Firstly,
watch him.
Firstly, plug your mic in because battery's running low, so it sounds terrible.
No, my battery's fine.
Oh, okay. Just to get a new mic then.
Like get a new whole squad.
And secondly,
Get a new squad.
I'm not convinced that you could say Van Dijk is in any way intentionally saving himself or playing less than he's able to because he's got one eye on the World Cup. I think that's a very naive thing to say, and I don't think any player would go into a season like thinking that. Yes, maybe subconsciously you think, okay, maybe the World Cup is around the corner. I might not jump into that tackle. I might not slide into that because
that's the problem.
I don't want to get injured. So I don't think it's an intentional thing. But for me, the bigger issue is it's Trent. It's
I was getting to Trent.
It's the big issue, and it's not even like I'm picking on Trent. The stats are there, guys. We've seen he's been dribbled past something like 8 or 9 times this season, which is more than he's ever done. Defensive errors leading to clear-cut chances. He's top of the charts. I mean, the stats are all there. So Shiva, as a Liverpool fan, what's going on with Trent?
So I was getting to
He's
Trent.
saving
Adam.
himself for the
You
World
joined
Cup.
late. I think if
He's
you
saving himself for
joined
the World
early,
Cup.
you would know this. No, I don't even think he's going to go to the World Cup. As I said earlier, we're like mentally tired. We're drained. It's like this team needs a refresh. You need something's got to change. It's not Klopp. Like I'd rather I don't know. You guys can take Anfield before you can take Klopp. It's not Klopp.
Yeah.
And I actually think, before Trent, the problem is Henderson. He needs replacing. Adam, that must make you feel so glad.
Yeah,
but also,
whatever.
But also, Salah hasn't been the same player since he's come back from AFCON, and no, even before that, and he kind of like, I don't want to say he was carried, but the fact that we were driving for all 4 trophies probably gave him like an extra oomph to go through. But now that we don't have that, it's kind of dipped again. So Henderson problem number 1, Salah problem number 2. I put Trent problem number 3 ahead of Van Dijk. I think the lad's just believing his own hype, and he needs a break. He needs to be taken out the game. Maybe this injury kind of gives him a break.
I don't know if you guys discussed this already, but what about this whole 7-year ick with Klopp? I don't know if you guys have seen this.
He
was at Mainz for 7 years. He was at Dortmund for 7 years. He was, and now this is 7 years at Liverpool. It seems like after 7 years, it kind of goes like that.
So
it doesn't even plateau.
Well, it tells you that his squads get tired after 7 years, which means they need a refresh.
That he hasn't
We need
figured
to
out
rebuild it.
the one art that he hasn't figured out is gradually refreshing his squad.
Yeah, but I think he's tried though. I think he's tried. Problem number 1
and is failing
before the players and before the squad is a lack of investment. Like, okay, fine, we dropped 100 bar on, and it wasn't even 100. I think it'll only rise to 100 if add-ons are missed. So like 80 bar on Darwin, but like that's like one guy. We need we needed like Henderson needs to go. Well, not go, but slowly be phased out. Milner
Yeah.
cannot start a game
Yo. Yeah.
anymore. I love the guy. He's given
Mm.
everything, and he gives everything when he's there. But his legs, like
He's
we're
old
talking
now.
about
He's
Henderson's
old
legs
now.
are
Just
going.
is what it is.
It is what it is. Like
Yeah.
if it can happen to Cristiano Ronaldo, it can happen to everyone, right?
Yeah.
You've just got to make peace with it.
Hey,
We've spoken about
Ronaldo
Van
scored
Dijk.
Ronaldo scored the winner yesterday, guys. Don't.
Well,
Mr.
I mean, he's Ronaldo still, but
Mr.
like,
700.
he's-
Don't put some
Yeah.
respect on the
X,
man's name.
X,
You know?
what's your famous saying about Father Time?
Hey man, by the time man catches up to everyone, Charles.
Yeah.
Like, really.
I think that is what's happened at Liverpool.
Yeah.
The sooner that you address this, the better it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to cause
But-
you pain
Yeah.
for now, but in the long run, you've got brilliant players in Elliot, who I feel has been thrust into the limelight. He was not ready for prime time, but that's a different conversation. I rate that boy. He's actually pretty decent.
he takes it
Yeah.
on.
But
He like even though he's like you can see he's not. He needs more time, but he takes it on. He doesn't shirk the
true.
responsibility.
I don't rate
the other
him.
guy,
I don't
who's
rate
the other
him.
guy
Yeah,
that
but you're
starts the season?
Newcastle. It's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Carvalho. I want to see more of him. I want to see
Yeah,
more
so
of Carvalho.
he's
More.
also being pushed in front, and he's also there's like there's glimpse. I watched him last season in the championship. He was pretty decent, but like that the step from the championship
He looks-
up top.
He looks
Yeah,
like a
but with
19-year-old who's
Carvalho,
making his
with
first big
Carvalho,
season in the
he's
Premier League.
he's getting it the right way. He's getting 15 minutes here, 20
Yeah.
minutes here,
20 minutes
a half
there,
here,
yeah.
a half here.
With
Harvey
Elliott,
Elliott he's playing the whole game, and I think it's a lot of pressure for a 19-year-old to have
It is.
to be in Liverpool's three-man midfield, having to cut. Also, he's playing on the right, so he's having to cover as
Cover
well for
Trent,
for
yeah.
Trent, which is also tough enough as it is.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that on
And
anyone.
I agree. He's a tryhard. Like everyone loves a tryhard. Everyone loves a player that just is giving it his all. But in terms of his his ability, I feel like he's the type of player he's going to plateau very early in his career because he's just been pushed so much. There's for me there's players that when they start young and they do really well in the young, they either go one of two ways. They go really high to the Wayne Rooney level and then peter off, or they go to like the Fanny Jeffers level and peter off. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
you guys know what I'm saying. It's I think go one of two ways for Harvey Elliott, but the amount of pressure that he's got in that team, it's I think it's just too much for him, and it's part of the reason why Liverpool are not doing well because they didn't buy another midfielder. I don't know where the fuck Arthur is playing. Is Arthur even?
He's injured. He's
He's
injured.
injured.
He's
He
injured.
bought him and
He's
he's injured.
out until after the World Cup.
That was, Arthur. That's transfer for Arthur reminds me of when Arsenal got Kim Kallstrom. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
remember that when they got
Yeah.
Kim
Kim
Kallstrom.
Kallstrom,
Exactly that.
randomly.
Leon.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
Didn't they also get Squillaci that year?
They got
Yeah.
Schillaci that one year. I mean, it just looks like a desperate last
Yeah,
minute
it was.
type of thing.
It was.
Yeah, I think you're right, Shiva. It comes down to the recruitment. I don't think they gave Klopp what he needed, maybe in terms of finances. They blew
Yeah,
it all
but
in
which is-
Darwin.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because up until this point, our recruitment was like
Bang on.
A+.
I wonder what changed.
Yeah.
I know what changed. We've lost Michael Edwards. He's gone to he's taking a break. I don't know who. I know who his replacement is. I'm just forgetting this guy's name.
Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah,
bad with
I think-
names.
I think if you can identify that, this guy is the guy that made us tick, give him all the money that he needs.
No, we did.
So,
We tried to, but he himself was like, I'm like getting a bit worn out and tired. He needed a new project. The thing is, you can't keep finding these gems consistently. Like at
Yeah.
some point, you've got to go and buy the obvious player, right?
That's
And
true.
That's true.
he kept bringing in these gems. Okay, fine. Van Dijk was the obvious player, but pretty much everybody else was. You're like, this guy's not there yet. This guy's not there yet.
City,
He might
City
be
did
good,
that.
yeah.
City did that in this window. They went and yes, okay, Alvarez might have been a bit of a punt for the future, but Haaland was just the obvious choice.
Statement.
Akanji is an example of the obvious signing. Didn't cost too much. Centre back, tried and trusted. He's not like a 10 out of 10. He's
proven in
like
the
a
Champions League as
7
well.
out of 10, but solid. Put him next to Diaz, who's a 10 out of 10, and he'll do well. So it's like those. You needed that, but in midfield, you needed to sign someone in midfield who is like an Akanji, if you know what I mean. So you didn't have to go and break the budget on him, but you needed someone solid.
And I also don't think Jude is the answer. Like, I rate him, but we just said you can't put that much pressure on a 19-year-old.
Nah, I think
Jude is 19.
Jude. The minute that Jude has a decent World Cup, Madrid is going to come with a bigger check than you.
Man United will come with a bigger check than Liverpool.
Shut up, Adam.
It's
Look,
true,
I'm not too
I
concerned about
wouldn't
United.
be surprised if that happens.
I'm not concerned about United. It's Madrid because they have that habit. Like they've taken Xiaomini.
Power.
Look, Xiaomini was the obvious signing at the time, and then Madrid came and got him from us. But it can't just be now we've lost this guy. Let's just wait for next year again.
Yeah. But another thing is,
we need to make those. I'd actually take.
Yeah.
I don't know, a cheeky Declan Rice, but he's not good enough. But he's going to cost too much. I actually wouldn't take him. He's going to cost
an
too
English
much.
premium. Remember that English premium.
I don't think he's better than what we have.
Yeah, guys.
It wouldn't be an upgrade.
Yo, guys.
Well, I mean, the way Fabinho's playing, like, I'd be an upgrade. So.
Yeah. Guys, I also wanted us to switch our conversation to Arsenal in particular, because I mean, I feel like we're focusing on Liverpool's deficiencies, yet we are not actually praising Arsenal for being.
I think.
Okay,
so this is my.
You guys
view
were
on
talking
Arsenal.
for half an hour and you didn't speak about X. You need to work on the titles of the video.
I
name
right
them
at the beginning.
afterwards, bro. You're like,
in X's defense, right?
Clickbait. That's all it is. Just clickbait. he has one subject, and we talk about something completely
Everything else. No, look, in X's defense, I think before I hijacked this whole thing to vent about Liverpool, I did say that we didn't deserve to win that game.
Yeah.
That was a compliment to Arsenal.
So Arsenal, Arsenal is cooking. And I hate this one thing where if you say a sentence and then you add but, it supersedes everything that you've said. But they've got moments where they just lose concentration and they concede goals that are like stupid, and you like think to yourself,
reminds you of Arsenal, right?
If you continue at this rate, you're doing what Arsenal of old does. And those 2 goals that you guys conceded, it was, when the game is like getting a bit dreary and it's like a bit boring and whatnot, and next thing you score and it's 1-0 and they score, it's 2-1. Then you come back, score, it's 2-2. They constantly have to find it in them to go and apply pressure. They don't know how to go for the jugular and go for the kill. That's the one thing that
they should have killed it when it was 2-1.
Thank you.
They should have killed it.
Well,
yeah, that too. We lost more than Arsenal won.
But going for the jugular
before we go on, how good was Odegaard? Like, can we just say that? Like, that man was playing a different game to everybody else.
The Odegaard conversation has been had. No, I think the conversation around Odegaard has been had numerous times, and I
don't think I was on that episode.
Yeah, we're all in agreement. He is the heart of that Arsenal team. He picks passes. Like the first goal, you could see that there's a pass there and literally laid it off. And do you remember, X, I actually mentioned this. I said the one thing that I'm scared of Odegaard at Arsenal is when City come calling.
Oh yeah, but I don't think Pep would go for Odegaard.
The thing is, he's not going to play on the wing, and he's not going to play in a
Odegaard
is similar position and similar. I want to say similar style to De Bruyne. He's never going to get into the squad over De Bruyne. I would be surprised if Pep makes a move there.
When I said when City come calling, I'm not talking about like this season or next season. I'm talking about in the next. Because remember, what Arsenal is doing is this project is based on this boy as the captain and surround him with boys that are of his age. Because if you go back to history, City has always gone for talent at Arsenal. There was one couple of seasons
Clichy,
where
Nasri, Adebayor. Yes, they went and cleaned Arsenal.
Sanya,
afterwards.
even Clichy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clichy.
So
Sanya,
when
Or someone else.
Nasri.
even
Nasri.
before that, they got David Seaman in. Even way before that, like to Sitle's point, there is a history of City going into Arsenal. But
no,
yeah,
I mean, any player right
think,
now.
yeah.
If you tell them like in 2 years' time, Pep Guardiola is going to come calling, that in itself tells you that that player is operating at a different frequency to everybody else.
I like Nash's comment there. You know, this Arsenal fire won't last, and it's
so unfair.
It's an interesting comment.
It is
like
unfair,
if you'd asked me this, even 2 games ago, and like the Premier League is crazy. This things and opinions and everything can change in one weekend. You know how this league is; it's crazy. So if you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, do you think Arsenal will keep going? I would have said, nah, they'll do it. They'll do an Arsenal self-destruct button, and it'll sort of peter out, and they might get lucky top 4. But I look at them now and look at the results against Liverpool, and I just think, okay, yes, Liverpool are not playing well this season, so it's maybe not the acid test, but honestly, they look really solid. They look
like a team.
They look like a team, exactly. My concern is that anyone now can pick the Arsenal 11. There's not been a lot of rotation in that team.
Yeah.
So when injuries come, let's see the key players, the spine of that team is where it's key. Ramsdale's injury, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Ramsdale injury is huge. That you can give up the season at that point if they lose a goalkeeper, because the understudy is no one. Then you put Saliba, who's having an amazing season.
Well, I think Saliba was at fault for both goals. But anyway,
okay. Overall, he's
but
been
at least
you
can't say Saliba. You can't accuse Saliba of playing at 70%, saving himself for the World Cup.
Exactly.
Point taken.
Exactly. He's not going to start for France. Then so you got your spine. You got Ramsdale, Saliba, Partey. If Partey is injured,
amazing.
which is
remember
possible,
he's injury prone,
and he's injury prone to exactly.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jesus up top. So it just seems like if we lose one of those down the spine, because think about Jesus's understanding.
But it's also the half forward line, right?
Nketiah is not going to take over there. So for me, it's almost like yes, they're doing really well, but it's an injury to someone in that spine that might throw it all off.
But also the half forward line, Adam, like the 3 behind the striker, it's Martinelli, Saka, and Odegaard. Those 3 guys are playing out their skin. Like if there's one player from Arsenal that I would buy, I know Odegaard was the best player on the pitch, and I said,
Saka.
I'm a big
Between
admirer
Saka
of
and
him. But I would take Saka, no
Saka.
questions. I would take him.
Of course,
100
anyone would say. Anyone.
I'd take him.
Honestly, I'm loving that boy. I think
amazing.
I fell for him after the Euros because when he missed the famous pin, I actually said I remember typing in the group. I said I feel sorry for what's coming for this boy, and they went for him, and he stood up and he's brushed himself off. He could have easily just be forgotten and just not stand up, but he's done the exact opposite. He stood up yesterday, a very important play and he scored it. But I think Catchfire mentioned it. Sorry, I can't find. He said the depth in Arsenal is the scary part.
It's true. I think it is the lack of depth, because you talk about those front 3: Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard. Okay, in substitute, you've got Smith Rowe. I mean, Smith Rowe is good, but is he better
not the same
than those
type
3?
of player as the other 3, though.
And you've got
you bring him on, you're changing the system.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got Fabio Vieira, who's not. I don't think he's. I think there's a good player in there. Exactly, there's a good player in there, but he's not there yet. And then other than that, the only other winger that can come into that is Reece Nelson. And Reece Nelson, he tried and failed. Let's be honest. Reece Nelson has had his time. It's over.
I think also if you look at Zinchenko, I think he's got a permanent job somewhere else, and he just comes at Arsenal part-time because he's ever not playing.
It's a weird one. He's doing military work in Ukraine, then he comes for the game and he goes back to the army. You know how it is.
It's too soon.
That's a bit. Let's talk about something else now.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
I'm just on Saka. I think the last.
Now you can go.
I was saying. The last time I remember someone playing in England getting that much hate from English fans. Twice actually it happened. But like the big one was, okay, obviously David Beckham after he got sent off, and he put his hand up. He put his hand up and he became a superstar, just like what Saka's doing. So that's the trajectory I'm putting Saka on. But the other one, a little bit not as fair because he didn't play for England. But Cristiano Ronaldo, after he got Wayne Rooney sent off in 2006, the English hated him. The English hated him after that. And now look, United fans.
That might have lasted for a week, bro. I mean, that
it lasted a whole 10 minutes.
They hate that
also
Saka
another
got
player
compared to that.
Yeah, but I think another
it's a
player,
similar level, right? And then he came good. So I think Saka's on that trajectory.
Another Arsenal player that I feel has stepped up is Granit Xhaka. I think he was a temperamental little prick who if Arsenal had sold him, none of the fans would have flinched. But I think this time around, or this season, something has happened in him where he's got like the fire that is required for him to lead this young side. Because honestly, I know that Odegaard is the captain, but I see Xhaka also carrying that where there's a couple of captains in that side. And I have to give it to Xhaka. He wasn't my greatest. I wasn't his greatest fan or anything, but I think he stepped up. I think he's improved, and it's starting to show.
Since that time where he threw his shirt off, flipped the bird to the fans, that was
left
when
a bitter taste.
I was when I thought that was it for this guy. I never saw him coming back after that. For the thing is, the problem with I think Xhaka is, I think his temperament, like you said, Sihle, is on a knife edge. I honestly think that it takes just one thing, and it's a red card waiting to happen with Xhaka. I still haven't seen enough sort of control in him. But I think Partey has been massive for him. I think playing alongside Partey has been great for Xhaka. Gives him more confidence to get forward, gives him more confidence to shoot. So Arsenal is looking good.
Well, I think what Partey has done, he plays that invisible role of protecting the defense. You'd swear that Partey was French. But actually, French players are more African than French. But anyway, I digress. And Arsenal have a well-oiled machine so far. Can the machine lift the title? No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Guys, part of the reasons why, I think City are going to win is because of this injury thing. We all know that even if City don't have Haaland, still they can still
going to win. They're still going to win. Still going to have. If you take Haaland out that team, they still have enough to beat other teams.
Exactly.
As if you take Jesus out of Arsenal, for example, City is not going to score goals.
Questions. Also, Kevin De Bruyne at the end of last season was just like, it didn't matter what was happening. He's just like, cool, you guys can carry on, have your fun. I'll give you whatever you want, but then I'm just going to decide that I want to win the game now. And then he just goes and wins the game. And it was like,
City can at the point of, I think, they can have a starting 11 without their superstars. Like when I say superstars, I'm talking about like your Kevins, your Haaland and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the squad that they've filled is a decent squad.
It's still good, yeah.
They've got like this weekend they had Jack on the bench. Okay, Jack he's coming out of his skin. I think he's getting there. They had Alvarez. Alvarez I rate. I think I said
Alvarez,
this in the beginning of the season.
Hey, he's gonna be good.
Yeah. Gundogan started in the bench.
Yeah, against United, Gundo played as a 6, bro, and we still got our ass.
And yet still,
whipped.
You got your ass.
Yeah, we are whipped, bro. So that's just
I think another thing that we forget about City is their youngsters are actually probably better than some of the players starting in other teams. And it also shows, if you look at some of the youngsters that they've loaned out into the league, there's some good players there. Cole Palmer is a baller. He's a baller.
But like what the understudies at City have an advantage over Liverpool is that they're given time to master the game and the style of play.
Exactly.
They don't get
Liverpool.
They don't get.
Cole Palmer hasn't been told, Cole, you got to go and protect midfield, and the guy's like, "Well, fuck, I got an exam tomorrow. What must I do?" Like it's not the same. Yeah.
Um,
City have
yeah.
depth in all departments. You need a solid. You need solid depth to challenge for the trophy. Yeah, he's right. This is why
Yeah.
United are nowhere close to matching City.
I think also the league is going to be a
Fair comment.
distraction for City this season because the main target, the main goal, is Champions League. But
It has
in
to be.
it being a distraction, it's still.
I don't think the league's going to be a distraction. I know we had
Pep
this
is not-
conversation at the start,
Yeah,
and I
I think
agreed
it's
with
gonna be a
Adam that the
distraction.
league would be a distraction. But they're going to walk the league, so
Yeah.
Well,
it's like the under 23 tournament.
The thing is,
distraction for the first team.
now,
Same type
now
of thing.
that Liverpool is out of the equation, which you
yep,
are.
it
I mean,
adds a
14
different
points
dimension because
out of the
remember we thought
equation.
Liverpool was going to push them right to the end.
Now
Yeah.
now you're going to see City being able to rest a lot more of their players in the league. They're going to Grealish is going to be playing more. You're going to be able to see Cole Palmer, Reece Lewis,
that Lewis dude, yeah.
Wilson, Esperant. These guys are going to be playing more in the league, which will be able to give the Champions League players or the players for the Champions League time to rest. So it's a good opportunity for them to win both the league and the Champions League this season.
Yeah.
And I remember Shivar said that Liverpool is going for number 1, but he didn't mention that there was going to be a 0 like next to that 1.
Yeah.
Top half would be great. Yeah.
On that City point, I still want to draw them in the quarterfinals. If we even make it out of our group to begin
Champions
with.
League.
But like, yeah, if we get to the quarterfinals, the team I want to play is Man City.
I think mentally it will be tough for City. I think it's this like thing that they've got
Yes,
with the Champions League, and
exactly.
It's the monkey.
Pep,
It's the
exactly.
monkey.
That's
that
why I
you
want
have to
also
back.
feels it. I think Pep also feels it. He really feels this. It's this unseen thing about him not being able to win the Champions League. He'll tell you that it means nothing to him in a press conference, but behind closed doors,
means everything, yeah.
No, I mean,
he thinks about it and he's subconscious.
The last final that Champions League that Pep was in was against Chelsea, where he then decided he's not going to have a holding midfielder, and to everyone's surprise, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, because
Kevin at
City,
striker?
no,
Or
he
was
didn't
that
have
in
a
the
holding midfielder.
semi-final?
When?
The final.
Yeah, in the final, Guerrero was even on the bench, man.
Yeah.
Guerrero was even on the
And to be honest, City were a better side, and then we smash and grab them, and we took our second one, and that's that. So in the back of his mind, it still bothers him, and I think just so that he feels better, I think he needs to have a tough run into the final. Like when I say tough run in, I'm talking about Barca, I'm talking about Bayern Munich, I'm talking about playing the likes of Madrid before it gets.
But
to
those
the
are
final.
the teams that will flex their history on him. And
But
that's where the
which
jokes
is
come.
why-
Like
which is
Nottingham
why I
Forest
think
have won a Champions League and City haven't. So those
For
are the
vindication-
teams that will get to him though, and that's why I want them.
Yeah.
That's why I want PSG round of 16 if we get there, and then I want City quarterfinals. Get those two
and then
teams
you're
out,
of
and
the
then
competition.
then if we go out after that, then like it's fine. I don't care. But I want
What?
those two teams gone.
Milner will be how old then? I think it'll be
Yeah,
like 50
Liverpool.
something.
He'll be
He'll be about
45.
50.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And guys, can we switch over to other teams?
Your team.
My team.
I think your team was
Okay,
flat.
guys.
Your team was playing against a side that is trying to.
That has the best defense, bro. Yeah.
Who did you guys play? I
Everton.
don't even know. Oh my
They
They have the
Everton.
best defense.
I think if you continue at this rate of reading stats and whatnot, I'm gonna disown you as a friend, because I think if you watch the game, you'd agree with me that
You guys
You were
conceded a goal to Alex Iwobi.
It was a
You
good
guys
goal,
drew
though.
with
his
Everton.
uncle,
So
his
yeah.
uncle was
Goal,
there.
though.
You guys drew to Everton, Shabba. So quite.
We didn't concede a goal to Alex Iwobi.
Yeah, but quite. Did you see that
An
goal? That
Arsenal
goal was
Bruh,
a
that goal was
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a contender.
but also De
As I said,
Gea's-
I didn't watch
De
the
Gea's
game. I don't even know who you
goalkeeping.
guys were playing, but
De Gea's goalkeeping for that goal was terrible. He was so far off his line. It was easy to pick out the top corner there, but
it's another
that's beside the
conversation that
point.
needs to be had.
Anthony's just doing really well. I mean, I love seeing Anthony. I'm thinking Anthony for fantasy fairly soon, because I mean it's 3-3 now for him. He's doing pretty well.
I still don't trust him as yet, but he's doing very well.
I don't need to trust him.
and-
He just needs to score goals. That's
It's for fantasy, bro.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm talking about my team. And let's talk about
Okay.
Casemiro, guys. Those that watch the game.
He missed a
Is it the same?
point blank header, first of all. He could have scored his first goal.
Well,
It's not.
well, for me, Sihle, bro, when I look at my game, ball retention we improved drastically. We're very good on the ball, and that's what I always wanted from my team. We created a lot of chances. We just didn't win clinical enough. Rashford's disallowed goal, Antonio's goal was the exact same predicament where the ball,
Yeah,
it's a ball-to-hand
VAR is not
situation.
consistent, and it's a
Yeah,
fucking
so
mess.
VAR as
Sorry.
well, man. It could have been 3-1, and game set match. It's the last 10 minutes where I was worried. I didn't even watch the last 10 minutes. I won't lie to you. I was like, okay,
I think your midfield had an opportunity because your midfield was going up against Idris Gay. I always get his name wrong.
Yeah.
Who was Pap? Like he was. I
bad.
think yesterday he was a 4, and then there's this other Belgian boy Onana.
Onana.
Yeah, he's smooth. He's
know-
getting there. He just needs to work on his game a bit more.
Yeah,
but I rate him. So
He
your
gave away the
midfield
ball.
is
He gave
10
away
times.
the ball for the first. Was it him or Gay?
No.
Who gave away the-
It was Alex Obi gave away the ball for the first goal.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, no,
Actually,
that's the
both goals.
second one. That's the
No,
second one.
both goals.
Are you for real? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I read an interesting
He
stat.
had to even out the universe after scoring a goal.
No,
X,
so
I-
yeah,
I
so
read
what?
a-
He scored 1 and he assisted 2.
Yeah. Good
I was
strategy.
gonna say I read a very interesting stat. It actually made me laugh. It was a weird stat, but basically, since Maguire's been out the team, Man United have won 20% more aerial duels in defense without Maguire in the team. For me, that's
Big
crazy.
Six.
Big Six is shorter than Maguire, and Maguire's big thing was getting that fridge on the ball every time. And it's just crazy to think that you're actually performing better in an area that he was, that's what he's meant to do without him. It's crazy. The worst thing about that is he will still go to the World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
And he's the
Of course.
captain. He's the captain. I feel sorry for Trent because Trent isn't going to the World Cup. Martinelli made sure of that, but the captain is going.
At this rate, Phil Jones will go to the World Cup before Trent. It's crazy.
Is Phil Jones still signed with Man United?
He is.
You
bro.
see, man.
Can you
But
believe it?
I've been reading that Ten Hag has intervened in the contracts. It's like, guys, relax. Hold up. We will review these contracts before we give players new deals, which is a good thing because in the past we were just handing out contracts for the sake of handing out contracts. Because De Gea's one is running out, the 375. Yeah, which is quite a lot of money for a goalkeeper. And for
it's not. It's
yeah.
It's not a lot of money for a goalkeeper. It's great value for money if you get De Gea at his prime for that. But when you're paying over the amount of money for what you're getting, it's terrible. If you had prime Edwin van der Sar, would you pay 400k a week for him?
I'd prime De Gea, I'd pay 400k a week.
There you go.
Well, Van der Sar
Not
was
this
in his
guy.
prime up until he retired, mate. Until Barcelona destroyed us.
No, but you know the point I'm
That
trying
was-
to make. The point
yeah.
I'm trying to make is it's
Yeah.
expensive because he's doing bad. If he was doing good and we're getting in
Wouldn't
team of
even
the
look
week
at
every
it.
week, then you wouldn't even care about it. But guys, just on one other team.
Before we move
come
on to Man United,
I don't want to
sorry,
talk about
Eds.
Man United. I don't want to talk about Man United.
just a quick one on Man United. One more player. Actually, three more players. Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is coming right. Whatever pie flavor he's eating right now,
Well,
he's,
you know what
he's
happens
coming
with
right.
Shaw? Shaw is
Wait,
that
hold
type
on.
of
Let me go
player.
on. Your player, what's his name? Tyrell, Malaysia, and whatnot.
Yeah.
He might be in trouble if Shaw continues at this rate. Can we talk about Dalo and how pap he is?
Well, he's had 2 bad games. The
Said
City
2
one.
bad games. City.
and-
Apparently Pep is interested in it.
Yeah, and you'd flourish. You would flourish, bro, at City. A lot of our players at United would flourish at City, bro, because they're.
I rate
there's a-
Salah.
we have- Yeah,
Right.
Not Maguire, not
Yeah.
McTominay.
but I can name Sancho would excel at City, bro. That's
Yeah,
a
but I think we've
system that he
spoken
would
we've about
Yeah,
Sancho
sure.
that he
Bro,
played himself.
destroy at City, bro.
Elanga would excel
Nah.
at City.
Fuck, man, no, not Eli, bro. Not Eli. I'm talking about the guys who are comfortable on the ball, guys who are competent on the ball. Not,
Yeah.
Adam, you should just stop talking about United. Like,
yeah, Adam.
Yeah,
just stop.
Yep, Adam, you wanted to say?
Stop.
Sometimes I come across as a closet United fan, but anyway, I want to talk about my team that I actually support.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 wins on the row, 9 goals in 2 games, conceded 2. I mean, we're on fire, guys.
Yeah, I'm loving what I saw that you're playing Man United next.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a very big game.
I think
maybe we must do a preview later in the week, bro.
Yeah, we must do a combined 11. It won't be like the last time.
Wasn't it?
I think the one problem I have.
If you did one last season, it would have been all Newcastle players. So don't get too excited.
No, last season was actually United players because it was the time where we just signed Ronaldo and we won 4-1.
But I mean, like after what's his name took over. What's his name? Eddie Howe. After he took over, I don't think I would have taken any United players at Newcastle.
But the one problem I have with Newcastle is that you play small. Meanwhile, you should be showing that you've got big ambitions. And I know we've had this argument where you talk.
It'll take time.
No, hold on.
No, it'll take time, Cisle. Just
I know.
They can't do what Chelsea did, where you went out and bought 10 players and Jose Mourinho.
There was no financial fair play then. Now we have to deal with.
Or even with what City did when they went and redid everything.
Cook the numbers, increase the price of oil if you have to, but do what you have to do. Bring freaking.
I'm okay with the price of oil, thank you.
Relax with that, Cisle. Already we are seeing flames.
Don't tempt fate, bro. Don't tempt fate. Even here, bro, it's like £10 to a litre. It's getting expensive here. Not that I have a car, but anyway.
But you kept what's this? Newcastle, you keep on playing small. But anyway, I love what I'm seeing. Actually, I was going through watching your game, and it was a well-deserved 5-1 trapping, if you want to call it.
And Brentford didn't do themselves any favors. I mean, they two goals. One was their own goal. The other one was just a terrible back pass. So. Yeah, they didn't do themselves any favors, but still, it's that you got to put that away. Newcastle in years previously wouldn't be able to apply that pressure. That's the big thing I'm loving about my team. That in all my years of watching Newcastle, I've never seen a team press together like that. Yes, you'll see the one striker chasing down the defender. You'll see the right back chasing randomly, but this is the first time I've seen Newcastle press as a team.
So what you're speaking on is exactly what I said is missing in Arsenal, where Arsenal don't know how to go for the jugular.
Sakwati, my God, bro, why the smoke, bro?
Well, for now, there's nothing to worry about. For now, but he knows it's coming.
No, but he's giving context. Ads. There's nothing to worry for now.
For now.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry. I don't know what he means by to worry. Like, am I worried about relegation?
You guys are not going to win the league this season.
No, I'm not. But I'm not saying I want to win the league.
You're a mid-tier team.
I'm saying for me, I'm realistically thinking that we can finish 6th or 7th, and that's Europa League. Realistically, I think we can finish there, and that means that someone like Liverpool, Chelsea, one of those teams will be out of that title race.
Yeah, but I
doubt
it's
out of that
Chelsea.
Maybe not Chelsea, but think about it. Your top 4.
Just say it. Just say it, Adam. Say you're going to finish above Liverpool.
We might. No,
I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say it
when we did the predictions. You know what Adam said? He said,
I know what Adam said when we did the predictions.
If he finished top 8, he's going to be happy. And we're all looking at it like, why are you downplaying yourself like that? You are the richest club in the world, and yet still
we don't
top 8
have the squad of the richest club in the world. That squad is somewhat punching a bit above its weight at the moment. Yes, we got Isak and the guys and played in the last couple of games, and we still banged 9 goals without him. So it's like, yes, we are a little bit hyped at the moment, but I still think if you look at the top 4 is going to be Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham. That's probably what the top 4 is going to be. I don't know what order, but that's probably what the top 4 is going to be. Then you've got 5, 6, 7, right? In 5, 6, 7, you've got teams like Brighton, Man United, Newcastle, who else is Liverpool? Of course, Liverpool, and whoever else is doing well at the time. It's so you've got probably 5 teams going to be vying for those last 3 spaces, and I'm probably going to look at Manchester United are going to be there, Newcastle, and I don't know, maybe Liverpool might not even be in the top 7. Siobhan.
You're talking about getting a new player for your fantasy team. Get Bruno. That's it. He scored 2 brilliant goals this weekend. One with his head, and the other one he placed it.
You can see this is why Sihle is not good at fantasy, bro.
Yeah,
this is why. Hey, this guy scored 2 last weekend. I'm gonna have him now.
Just
I
have him.
told you
Anyway,
this at the
on
start of the
Chelsea-
season, Sihle.
On Chelsea, I
I told
know
you
a
this
lot
is
of
the,
people
hold on,
didn't watch.
before we move on to Chelsea, I need to reiterate this. You pick your team before the games, not after the games. Just remember that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my money that I'm gambling. Let me be. Fooling is gold.
You must donate. Yeah.
I'll take your transfers. I'll take your free transfers off you, bro.
FUX. On Chelsea, I won't dwell much into it. I think we played a very average team in Wolves. Where they were trying out different things, didn't work out, and we punished them. The one good thing that came out of that game is if you look at our squad, it's players that are fringe players, to be honest. Players that are trying to get into the starting 11. And what I'm loving is Bruges' goal. He needed it, well deserved, and he took it like a champ. And I'm hoping to see more of him. And with the amount of games that we've got, I'm pretty sure he's going to be getting game time, of which that's what I'm hoping for the boy. There's this other kid. I keep on forgetting his name
I've
now.
enjoyed Chukwuemeka. I've enjoyed seeing Chani Chukwuemeka. I know he only played a few games, but I remember watching him at Aston Villa. I think he's a great player. Well, I also like Potter and the way he plays, and I think players like Gallagher and Loftus-Cheek will thrive under Potter.
Yep. If honestly, those 2 players that you mentioned, if they flop this season, they have nobody to blame but themselves.
Yeah, Potter will give them all the opportunity he needs because he plays like that. He plays with those type of players. If you think of the type of players that he's had historically, not amazing names, but similar style of player almost. So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing, actually, when I looked at the team that beat Wolves. Kepa was in goal. So, I mean, Mendy's out the team. Aubameyang and Sterling didn't even play. Chilwell didn't even play. And you guys thumped Wolves. Yes, Wolves are playing terribly, and you sacked the manager afterwards. But it's just crazy to think that Chelsea have actually got this much strength and depth that those 3 players didn't even play.
Yeah. And remember, Kante is also injured. He's out. And we put in a decent showing, 3-0 against a pathetic Wolves. But it's 3 points that we deserved.
Potter,
can't argue.
He's cooking something. He is. And I think we will get there. And if he continues at this rate, he had my full support the minute that he was. They sacked Tuchel and they said they announced that Potter was taking over. Tuchel leaving left a bitter taste, but anyway, I wouldn't have any other manager but Potter. I know that we're in running for other managers, but yeah, I think Potter he's a decent enough manager for what we're trying to achieve.
Can we talk about one more team?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Spurs? Let's go Spurs.
Yes. They stink the place, those fuckers.
Yeah, those guys, they
Whoa.
I said this in the rating video. I said Spurs have one style of play where they sit back and try to hit you on the counter. And you guys argued and said, no, they actually do go forward and they do have a good style and Conte's building something. But when Spurs can't implement their counter-attacking play down, that's kind of when they're crumbling.
That's true.
Interesting. Shivar's right. In the last 3 games that they've won, they've had less possession than their opposition. So fair enough. They are a counter-attacking team, but they just seem. I mean, when you counter, and I think about Newcastle back when we were a counter-attacking team under Steve Bruce, who got sacked by West Brom the other day. So I mean, that tells you what you like about him. We were trying to counter with Jacob Murphy, Ryan Fraser, and whoever else at the time. It's different when you're countering with Harry Kane, Kulusevski, Son, Charlison. So to say you're a counter-attacking team, but when you're counter-attacking with that much fire,
Yeah, look, I'm not knocking it. I'm just
solid
saying
tactic.
they can be exposed because
Yeah.
that's their one trick.
They one trick pony.
There is.
Yeah, I'll say
But
it.
I think they're gonna have a better season than Liverpool.
No, that's not
They're
like
ready.
as I said. Unless we finish second, then we've had a terrible season. So even if Tottenham finish fifth and we finish fourth, they've still had a better season than us.
So I'm telling you, you are gonna finish second. It's just there's gonna be a 1 in front of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're not like Chelsea. Come on, we're not that bad.
Yeah.
Where did you guys finish after winning the league? Under Jose. Where did you finish?
We learned our lessons and we moved on. Now we've got Potter behind the wheel. You still have Klopp and he's Milner and what's his name? But anyway,
Hendo.
let me not. Let me not knock your side. I'm jealous of your side. Not anymore though.
I think back on Spurs. I think What are we saying for Spurs top 4? Is it guaranteed?
No.
Or no?
No.
Yeah.
They can only pull these 1-0s. They can only pull these 1-0s for so long. I think the one problem that they have is Sessegnon. Not one problem, but one of the problems. The kid is not ready for prime time. He has moments, but I just don't trust him. I know that he's going to make mistakes, and if he comes against a brilliant side that is going to see that he is the weak link out of the whole defense or side, because Doherty on the one side is a better player than Sessegnon. So Sessegnon for me,
the thing with Sessegnon is he's a player that's in there almost to be substituted. And I think if you look back at Conte's teams, Conte loves having, and you'll know this as a Chelsea fan, Conte loves having, some firepower on the bench. So for him to play a player like Sessegnon to start with him, it's all a means to an end where that player can, give all he has and then come off, and you've got someone like Richarlison or Perisic to replace him, which is what he's been doing in the last few games. So I don't rate Sessegnon as, like you say, as an amazing footballer, but he's good for what Conte needs from him.
I hear you. I think they just need to back to what Shivar said, one trick pony. And the more you do these antics of just doing the same thing over and over, you find out. Look at Trent right now. Trent is, I think everyone can see he's the N1. Like it's flowing. It's like it's happening there. So yeah, I think they need to do something else. I don't know whether that's a change in style. But they need to really do something because they've got decent attackers. Richarlison, Son, Kane, who's that injured player? They've also have Jed Spencer.
Jed Spence.
Yeah.
To be honest, for me, it hasn't been the strength in attack that's been the reason why they've done so well this season. For me, Romero, Dyer, Davies, Doherty, Sanchez, the defense. Conte has really turned that defense around. 100%. Can't deny they've turned that defense around. They might not know the best players in the world, but he's turned them around. And having Højbjerg, Bissouma, Bentancur in midfield, I think it's a solid team. I don't see Spurs going anywhere outside the top 4 this season. I don't think they have got enough to win it. Yeah, but I don't see them dropping out the top 4. I think you could probably
it's exactly that.
now.
It's exactly what Ivan is saying. That top 4 is going to be a.
Yeah.
If your team makes top 4 this season, just know your team did brilliant.
Well. If your team makes top 4 this season, in another season, your team probably could have won the league. That's how I think there's going to be so many points in it.
No, I don't think so. I disagree with that.
Top 4.
I disagree with that because the other seasons had City and Liverpool getting 95, 96 points.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I don't mean to that level, but like
the points are
like you're gonna probably need 76 to 80 points to make it into the top 4. And historically, that could have won you the league a few years ago. If you don't take Man City and Liverpool 90 plus into account, if you take a normal season, that's enough to win you the league. So it just shows how hard the battle is and how, the comment came in now for a match, how intense the battle is for top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also the World Cup is going to be a disruptor for many plans for managers because it's an unknown.
Not for City.
pausing-
Not for City. Not for City.
Haaland is not going.
Haaland is going to be chilling. They're going to be massaging him. He's going to be eating right. He's going to, and then as soon as they come back from the World Cup and those defenders are tired,
He just continues.
bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and in closing, Shaval, one more question: how many goals is Haaland gonna score against your team on Sunday?
I want to talk about it.
It's gonna happen,
Well,
though.
look,
It's
I
inevitable.
think
but
I think
how
it's
many?
it's. I was saying to someone yesterday that City should start every game with a 2-goal disadvantage, and he turns around and looks
then-
at
and then you
me and
catch up.
he's like, what's the point of giving them a 2-goal disadvantage if Haaland is scoring 3 every game? So
Shiva, you're going to get battered on the weekend.
And you guys are gonna, and as well, if you guys are gonna play a high line the way you guys played against Arsenal,
They will just pick them apart.
You know,
need
if
to
I was
play
Pep, if I was
like
Pep, if I was Pep,
2017 Liverpool, and
I
then
wouldn't even.
and then
I
we have
wouldn't
a
even-
chance.
If I was Pep, I wouldn't even play anyone on the right hand side. I stick Foden, Mahrez, De Bruyne, and Haaland all just playing on the left against Trent, and they would just
Trent's
score
injured.
left.
Trent's injured. It's going to be Gomez.
I would have the whole
It's
team
gonna be
playing on the
Joe
left.
Even worse.
I'd have the whole team playing on the left, and then make the goalkeeper make a late run on the right hand side. You score a hat trick. I promise you, it's gonna be that easy for you, bro.
Yeah, look, I don't wanna give X too much banter about
Klopp is a
United.
brilliant manager, guys, and Klopp knows how to beat City. So let's not
Nah,
get carried
that's
away.
the time around, G.
I agree. He does know to beat City, but he doesn't have the
That's time
tools.
around,
He
G.
doesn't have the
Guys,
tools to
Haaland
beat
is a
City now.
problem. That guy,
He
It
doesn't
does
have-
have ancient.
he
It
doesn't
does
have
have
the
tools.
tools.
It does have tools. It's just
He
that
do-
they're
you,
ancient.
no, yeah, it's a
Look,
hammer
he
and
has the
chisel.
tools,
You can't have
but
a hammer
they
and
haven't been
chisel. You need-
sharpened.
You need
No,
power.
Klopp
no.
has the tools.
You can't
They
sharpen-
haven't
you
been
can't
sharpened
sharpen
in a
Milner.
while. You need to go.
You can't
No, but not
sharpen
like
Milner.
Milner. But you can't sharpen Van Dijk, and you can't sharpen Salah, and well, Thiago is always sharp. He's like,
Van
you
Dijk,
know,
Van Dijk, you said it
what's
yourself.
the
He's playing at 75% because he's saving himself for the World Cup.
But you can, I don't know, Shambok hiding, like, I don't know, we go back to those days. Sort him out. Throw
So
the
the only way
hairdryer
the
at
only
you.
way Klopp's gonna get the best out of his players is via corporal punishment. Is that what you're basically saying? He's gonna
Look, it worked for Ferguson. I'm not saying it's the only way. I'm just saying it worked for Ferguson.
Yeah, but
I
Ferguson
think
wasn't.
just on
a
Ferguson,
threat to being
Ferguson was very
sued.
fortunate. He was able to coach at a time where he could refresh
You
his
could get
squad
away with that. You could also
and get away with it.
with
Unfortunately,
knocking
Klopp
the odd
is-
bottle
he
into
can't.
someone. Yeah.
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 All right.
Look, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't expect us to win that game.
Yeah.
Neither
And
do
this is
I.
like the
3-3
first
is going to be a
time.
respectable score. If
I don't think
6-3
anyone expects you to win that game.
Yeah, this is the first time in I don't know how long that I've said I don't expect Liverpool to win this game.
Damn. Sure. Well.
Yeah.
Right, guys. I feel like we went well over an hour.
Can you spare a moment for Gomez this weekend?
Just go away, Zile. Leave my team alone. Your turn is coming. Your
Swear a
turn is
moment,
coming.
Allison. My man's back is going to be sore picking that ball up. Hey, one time.
Yeah.
Two
Your
times,
turn's also coming,
three
Adam.
times,
Oh, you drew with them, right?
4 times.
Yeah, 3-0,
5 times.
Yeah.
6 times.
6 times. And
Ten
that's
is
just
cool.
Holland. And that's just Holland's goals. Then we've got Milner own goal.
I think we can close it off. Shiva,
Yeah, no, guys.
in my
bullied-
prayers,
I've
but
bullied-
I'll
I've
take
bullied Shiva
I'll take
enough
it
for
easy
one
on you
day.
this week. I know you are. Yeah, you're very
Yeah.
fragile.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Look, we've got a
and-
Champions League game first, I think. I think it's a
Yeah.
Champions League game first.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see some improvement there. Maybe it will get worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Just
yeah,
as
I'm
long
not expecting
Just
much
as long
from
as
the
you guys
City
aren't
game.
playing Napoli, guys, because Napoli this season.
Yeah, the
are-
Napoli-
Who's
Put a
that
number on
guy
you.
whose name I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce? I've
Who's
never
that?
seen him before. That guy, man, he was dribbling like for free, like the dribbly guy. Don't make me.
Who's
I
that?
can't pronounce his name.
Zelensky.
It starts with a K. Who?
Oh, not K.
It starts with a
He's
K.
Napoli.
Plays for
Napoli.
Napoli. Yeah, that dribbly dude. He just dribbles, and it's like amazing. But I've never
Yeah.
seen him before. I've never heard of him before,
Is
and then
he
all of a
Asian?
sudden,
Shiva, you
No,
can't go
he's-
home, bro.
George. Wait. I'll tell you his name.
Yeah,
I'll tell you his name.
But the guy who's playing well is Anguissa. Anguissa used to play for Fulham.
Bro, Anguissa was
Yeah.
average at Fulham.
Yeah.
Oh, that player,
Cross
jersey number
Liverpool.
77.
Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia, yeah.
Kvaratskhelia. That
Yeah,
guy.
he got his name playing Scrabble. Yeah, at number 77.
He got his name. Yeah. I like that guy. I want to see. Like, maybe he's the guy we should be signing.
Yeah,
Kvaratskhelia. That's how you say his name.
Even
Kvaratskhelia.
Diego Simeone's son is also playing for them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, but I like Ruiz, man. Fabian Ruiz ish, man. I like these Spanish
I don't rate him.
CDMs. You don't like him?
Look, I love the Spanish midfielders, but he's
Bro,
not.
Even Ndombele's in that team, bro. Do you forget? Ndombele's in that team and he's on fire.
I think we
there.
all forgot that. Adam.
Ooh, sorry,
Yeah, and
gents.
he comes off the bench.
Diaz is injured. Is out until
Yeah, I
after the
said
World
that.
Cup.
Diaz is out. Trent might be out.
Fuck,
looks like we'll be
the
playing.
wheels are coming off, eh?
Milner and right back pretty soon.
Paulo Dybala is also out for the World Cup. He got injured taking a penalty for Roma. I was like, how?
You for real?
Yeah, he's out for the whole season.
Did you guys hear about Mwepu?
Yeah,
That Bournemouth player. Bournemouth Brighton.
I think that's a nice way to end. Actually, it's, you know.
Yeah, that's a sad way, man.
Good player. It's sad, and it just shows like we talk all this shit about footballers, but you know, can you imagine?
End of the day.
You can imagine at the end of the day, you know, you can't work anymore at the age of how old are we now? Plus 30 something. Imagine it just all ends one
Speak
day.
for yourself, dude.
Wow. Anyway, but yeah, it just shows like these players are fragile. Life is fragile, guys.
Yeah, all right. No, guys, thank you so much for availing yourselves. Ads, we need to schedule some time to have combined 11. You know,
let's do it, bro. Bro. I'm not going into the office on tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, so any day, bro.
All right, no worries. I must also check the load shedding schedule, bro, because
yeah, we have to deal with that shit, unfortunately.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, thank you so much. This is Sleazy Sport. We out. Peace.